Welcome to Fingering the Page.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Andy, and we're here to talk about the books that touched us.
In our hearts, and sometimes somewhere else. Today we picked a story about donuts because both of us are pre-diabetic.
Oh, that reminds me. Did you want one of these?
Oh, I actually brought my own.
Oh.
They say with pre-diabetes you need more insulin.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, good. It's good.
It looks good. So listen, guys. This tale is set north of America, but south of the North Pole.
And that is Canada to our non-cartographer friends. But Andy, you're not going to find any shifters in this universe. No.
Wait, I'm sorry. Surely there's a bear man or a koala man or an orc of some sort.
No, just Ryan Kwok, a minor celebrity.
Kwok. Is that short for quackadile? Is he a quackadile person?
Oh, he's just another actor with another movie that underperformed.
Oh, kind of like Henry Golding if Crazy Rich Asians had failed.
Yes, and set in Canada, the Singapore of North America.
So if you've ever imagined Ryan Reynolds falling in love with you.
Or Ryan Gosling falling in love with you.
Or Simu Liu
falling in love with you. You're gonna love Donut
Crazy Rich
falling.
Asians. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's a good movie.
It is. It's great. I love it. Okay, let's try it again. Sorry.
Okay. You're gonna love
Crazy
Donut
Rich Asians. Okay, I'm sorry. That movie is awesome. There's like 2 sequels going to come out any day now.
I know. I'm checking deadline every day. Sweep the world. It's going to sweep. It's going to be a full repeat.
It's going to be so good. All right.
In the meantime, let's bite into Donut Fall in Love.
Are you okay?
Can you pass me a glass of
I don't have any water. I don't have any water. I have chocolate milk. Do you want that? Okay.
It's fine. That's fine.
Should I have opened it? No?
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, that's good.
Thanks.
Oh, for all good.
I'll drink it later. It's fine.
Thank you.
For this synopsis, guys, I just want to start off with Ryan Kwok is back in Toronto after his movie did just okay at the box office. His mom passed a few months ago and his sister's getting ready to have a baby, which has led him to step up as the most haphazard member of his own family.
Guy essentially does nothing.
Does absolutely nothing. Luckily for him, his dad is emotionally distant and ready to troll him on Twitter.
Yes. Ryan's dad goes freaking hard at Ryan every time he posts, which is absolutely incredible. One of my favorite subtweets from Ryan's dad is right out the gate on page 24. And he says, "When will you stop taking off your shirt and finish your engineering degree?"
Harsh, dude.
It's so good. It's so good.
Have your parents ever asked you to do anything on Twitter?
No. Well, one time my mom asked me to put my shirt back on and clean my room. And then I told her to shove it. What about you?
My mom told me to take my shirt off and start headlining. She's a big Bert Kreischer fan.
Oh, he's good.
He's good. He's good. Lindsay's mom is finally dating again after losing her husband like 10 years ago. This is a huge upset to Lindsay and her brother for some reason.
Yes, they are devastated, but honestly, get over it. It's been a decade since your dad croaked. It's time for your mom to move on.
Seriously, grow up. Let your mom date some more people, all right?
Yeah. Plus, the brother Trevor, I hate that name, first of all.
Awful name.
It always reminds me of a frog.
Mm-hmm.
He's a geologist who's living at home with his mom, and it's really his own fault. Like, what is he going to uncover except for his mom's secrets?
Oh, I'll tell you what. He's going to uncover a rock-hard man ready to take his mom to town. Listen, luckily for Lindsay, she receives a distraction in the form of Ryan asking her for baking lessons. Lindsay agrees when she learns that he's doing it for the right reasons. Charity and a depressing childhood memory.
Yes, let's talk about this depressing memory really quick.
Okay. During their second lesson, Ryan has a breakdown when Lindsay says they're going to bake the best ever chocolate cupcakes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because he has a memory of this mom fucking up a recipe real hard, him and his mom are baking cupcakes and they weren't paying attention to the recipe, overbaked them. Then they frosted the cupcakes before they let them cool.
I couldn't believe that. What a rookie mistake.
That's insane. It's like, you know better than this. Come on. His mom calls their creation best ever chocolate cupcakes.
And it sucks him back to when his mom was alive and his dad was only trolling him on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. Also, weird side note, best ever chocolate cupcakes is Ryan's safe word in bed in future chapters.
There's a
So
lot of things to unpack here for Ryan.
it's a lot going on.
Andy and I actually took a baking class over the weekend in hopes that we could also sleep with our teacher, but all we left with was a number from our bus driver.
He's trying to build a career as a chauffeur. This is actually super exciting for us guys.
Yeah, he paid us to put his chauffeur business on our show. It's our first sponsor.
Winning.
$20 for this. This is Gary. Gary's gonna crush the limo game or the bus game, depending on however you want. But we think you should reach out to him if you have about 20 to 30 people you need to transport, ideally from home to a workplace, home to school, or if you just want to get a bunch of people to different spots throughout your city.
Now I know what you guys are thinking. Bus? Obviously a party bus. It is not a party bus.
Mm-mm.
He did not get the license for it. Also, the pole in the bus, purely structural. I asked.
Yes.
Listen, as Lindsay and Ryan work on his baking skills, they find that they're casual flirting and both being hot pieces of ass
They are.
causes a spark to grow between them.
Sparks will fly!
Now, will a fight between his best friend and her roommate cause a rift?
Important note here, Melvin is his best friend, and as we discover throughout the novel, Melvin sucks.
Hard. Just the worst person.
Oof.
Now, can the ever-present paparazzi and threat of doxing cause Lindsay to reconsider the relationship? Only time and reading will tell as we learn that sometimes it might be best to donut fall in love. Katie, let's get into what we liked and what we didn't about this book.
Yeah, in a segment we like to call What We Liked and What We Didn't Like About This Book.
I like that Ryan's dad claimed he wouldn't watch Ryan's sitcom because he found it uneducational, but in reality he has facial blindness. He was afraid that he would mistake his son for other people in the show.
Yeah, a classic fear.
Yeah.
I also believe that hiding a physical defect through shitting on your son's accomplishments is a great move. I also like that Ryan's dad wants his grandchild to call him Stanley. We
should point out, his dad is not named Stanley. That is not his dad's name at all.
He's pretty much unnamed throughout the whole novel. But maybe he's just a fan of a certain steamer.
Stanley Steamer, your certified cleaner.
Speaking of steamy, we loved all the references to Ryan's abs.
Yes, the word abs comes up 60 times in the book. And honestly, it should have been 69.
Yeah. Now I know your thing, but Andy, surely there were other words for abs used throughout the book. None.
No.
Just abs all throughout. Never tummy or tum-tum.
Or muscle pouch.
Yeah. Right there. Never used, just abs all throughout.
Yeah, but there are some good, there's a lot of good lines. There's a lot of good lines.
Here's one of my favorites. Now, this baby isn't your abs, Ryan. You can't post pictures of him on social media willy-nilly.
So good. One of my favorites is when she goes to the movies to watch one of his movies in theaters. And it goes, and quote, "She wasn't used to seeing such a close-up of his abs. Why, they must be almost as tall as she was." Just a lot of solid, good writing. You can't deny it.
No.
What didn't we like about this book, Andy?
I don't like how they hang out naked.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Turn to page 208 if you're following along. This is hard for me to say.
Do you want me to say it?
I'll say it.
Okay.
Lindsay was in Ryan's bed. They had sex and now they're just chilling out, naked.
I'm sorry, guys. It's too much confidence. I've been married for 19 years. My wife has never seen me naked. Also, it's cold.
I don't know how people can be comfortable like that. I grew up Catholic. I put lotion on in the dark.
Yeah. One other thing we didn't really like is that the author's not super specific sometimes, like when she should be. Like, for instance, on page 127, the author references when she was in bed with her trusty toys. What toys? She's not very specific what kind of toys we're talking about.
Exactly. Here. My mind goes to, obviously, Tickle Me Elmo, Bop It, Koosh Balls.
I'm thinking she has 2 action figures that she uses to recreate arguments that she had earlier in the day and makes them say the things she wished she had said.
Oh, so she's like, no, I believe that you were wrong, Ryan.
Yeah. And he's like, whoa, I'm quacking out.
That's exactly how I think those scenes should be going.
I think that's how it should be.
Also, we really didn't like how it was so hard for Ryan to say I love you to Lindsay.
He has such a hard time with it.
Unbelievable, this guy.
Page 304, and I quote, "It was easier to take off his shirt and post pictures for the world to see than it was to say 3 short words. Audience, does not a bro weep?"
How in the world? How in the world? And then she says it again to him. She doubles down 10 pages later. Not but 10 pages later. She tells him she loves him again. And he doesn't say it again and just throws up another photo of his abs on social media. And was like, this is better.
Katie, you've been in a lot of good functional relationships.
Mm-hmm.
How many times have you had to say I love you to a person and them not say it back before you just break up with them?
I think the real question is how many love letters have I written to Rob Lowe and how many have gone unanswered?
How many?
You'll have to ask his mom. She's thrown every single one of my letters away. And that's according to his mom.
Oh, I'm sorry, Katie.
It's still not over.
Katie, it's time for discussion questions, friend.
My favorite.
I
was so good at these in school. Okay. Everyone hated me.
Yeah, as somebody who hated that, I'm just going to read the questions to you.
Great.
Just quick ones. Here we go. How much did this book make you want to visit this area of Toronto?
0.
Okay. How many times did you say yummo while reading this book?
60.
Now, that's the number of abs that, ab
There
references.
is a correlation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was there ever any point where they started to say abs, but it turned to absolutely? And you're like, yeah.
I said, yuck.
What type of donut could he have turned into?
A long john. He's tall and slick. And he's stuffed with cream.
Katie. How do you imagine Ryan's voice sounds? Can you give us an example?
Lindsay, I need to post something on social media and I want it to be with you and my abs, but I'm only allowed to do one at a time. Is that cool? I don't love you, but I do. I
like it.
Yeah.
Last question for the speed round. Ryan is training for a baking show. Do you think he thought having sex with his teacher was an integral part of the show?
Absolutely. I believe he signed up for the baking show in hopes he could have sex.
Gotcha. Good stuff. All right, now we're going to get to a more in-depth question.
Great.
When reading the 20 pages of sex scenes, which answer best describes your internal monologue? A, 7 pages of sex on the first go? What are they, machines? B, are they going to take a break and go to church? It's a Sunday. C, asking yourself, sex is cool, but what about the plot? D, again? She just had a bath. Okay.
This is a tough one because every couple sentences I did think A, B, C, and D, you know? I went from, what? How?
Yeah.
If I were to have to choose like donut to my head, I would say D. She just had a bath?
Yeah.
She just got clean and now she's sitting in her own filth. And so why would she want to add his filth on top of her filth?
Yeah. No, it's a good point.
He went through so much to set that bath up too.
Oh, yeah.
Guy acted like he's never ran a bath before.
Oh, I don't think he has.
I don't think he has either.
No. Speaking of stupid, let's do the next question.
Great.
Is there any way to salvage Melvin's set, or should it be left to die?
Oh my God, you guys. Melvin's a stand-up comic in this book.
Yeah.
And as 2 stand-up comics,
right,
It was the most insulting piece of literature I have ever consumed. It made me want to tar and quarter Melvin.
Oh, you're not even going to feather him?
No, I'm not going to feather him. I don't need to waste chicken feathers on him. He is going to be dunked in tar and hung out to dry to never do stand-up again. Why,
quartered.
Andy? Why is that?
Well, he's very bad at it.
He's so bad at it.
If you like punchlines, you're going to hate this man's set. If
you
just
love
statements.
just statements, you will love his
Yeah.
set.
I can only imagine, Jackie never goes into specifics, but I can only imagine that Melvin is like juggling or doing some kind of high energy act while also doing this, because the crowd seems to love him. I don't know why. Does it say the crowd loves him though? Maybe I'm making that up. Maybe I'm just imagining in my head.
I think you're imagining it.
Yeah.
It wasn't ever explicitly stated, but it did go on for about 6 pages in one chapter.
Big time.
Not once did I hear a punchline.
Now, what was the most realistic thing about him being a comedian?
Okay, so the most relatable thing, the most realistic thing in this whole book for me was that an open mic average man does an average set that goes on for far too long in the book. And then he gets off stage. Vivian, Lindsay's roommate, approaches him and is like, oh my gosh, I'm such a fan of yours. And he immediately is a fucking dick to her.
Yes.
And that is so on brand. That is
Very
the
on
most
brand.
realistic thing I have read.
Should Vivian have punched Melvin at least once?
At the very least.
I think if Ryan truly loved Lindsay, he would have held Melvin down and allowed Vivian just to wail on
I
him.
100% agree. And also, Melvin is a famous actor.
Yeah.
He's on sitcoms.
Mhm.
He's in movies. And this guy still freaking flubs on stage for 7 minutes. I can't get over it.
Now, see, that part's realistic to me. Like
That part is also
there are plenty of
realistic.
comedians who have like successful acting careers and they have done comedy forever. They're like, let me get back in the game. No need to train or get back into it. I'm just gonna whip it out on stage, and then they do, and they're like, that was bad.
Yeah, honestly,
That was
like,
real bad.
would you rather that or have a man whip his penis out at you? I don't know. I think I would take the latter.
Really?
I don't want to listen to that again.
Well,
I can't sit through it.
all right, guys, that'll do it for episode 5 of Fingering the Page.
Keep your hands above the covers.
Or don't.
And until next time, keep reading. Dink.
How are your A1C levels?
Honestly, I think I'm down 0.1%.
That's great, dude.
Yeah. They'd still want me to go on Ozempic.
I hate that. They told me I should go to a hospital.
I was listening to a podcast about it this morning and it was like 10 healthy habits. And I was like, shove it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I had a friend who was like, I'm eating a lot more fiber because it's supposed to offset the glucose in your system.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you eating for fiber? He's like, peanut butter, milkshakes. I was like, what are we? I don't think that's helping, bud.
Oh, God.
No, it's not good.
They want me to eat 30 grams of protein a day. And I was like,
What does that even look like? Is that a fist? They always do the fist thing for protein.
I have to chop off Melvin's fist and eat it once a day.
I believe it. That guy's the worst.
I only like the frosting part.
Yeah. No, that's what anybody likes. Nobody's like eating just plain bread. What are you talking about, Katie? You're not alone.
Let me be special. Oh, God. Yum.